A second family sues an Algiers daycare and the state, claiming no one checked their child's school building for lead.
Chris Joseph reports that family may not be alone in this update to Fox 8's Led Astray investigation.
It's the second lawsuit against the Crescent School, its landlord, and the state health department. Another New Orleans family alleges the school, the Santa Maria Benevolent Association of Algiers, and the state are negligent after doctors found elevated and hazardous lead levels in their child's blood. They allege their 3-year-old son now needs continued medical monitoring. Megan Kiefer represents Sarah and Patrick McGinnis in the lawsuit.
I mean, I can't even imagine what stress that they're going through.
The McGinnis's lawsuit alleges the Benevolent Association has owned the property since around 1932. They allege it knew, or should have known, the property was contaminated with lead. A spokesperson for the association declined to comment. Meanwhile, state law requires the owner of the building to test for lead if the building hasn't been cleared of lead since 1978. Fox 8's Led Astray investigation exposed no testing happened, and the building was constructed in 1812. But the daycare's owner, Liza Drennan, says she didn't know about that law until after it was too late.
I trusted, like I said, and I don't know how many times I can say this, I trusted the Department of Health and I trusted the Department of Education to not only make sure that I did everything, but also to say, hey, did you do this? Hey, you missed this. They're supposed to help me. Because it's not just helping me, it's helping a school.
Drennan says she followed the state checklist in order to get her daycare license, which included a state health inspection. That inspection didn't test for lead. But the lawsuit alleges the school was negligent for not testing for lead, and the state was negligent for failing to make sure the school followed the law.
When you send your kid to daycare, you don't think about, hey, you know, when they go outside and do their mud play, their exploratory learning, are they at risk of damaging themselves long term because somebody didn't do their job?
Kiefer also represents the UN family, who filed the first lawsuit earlier this month. Inspectors only discovered the lead after a routine medical checkup found spiked lead levels in the UN's daughter.
There should also be inspection requirements that are followed before we get to a place where toddlers are rolling around in mud that's completely dangerous to their short-term health, but more importantly to their long-term health.
State records show doctors found at least 3 students had elevated lead levels. Senator Gary Carter represents Algiers and says the state health department told him 18 out of the 27 children in the school had elevated lead levels.
I'm very concerned about those kids. I'm concerned about their long-term health. I care for their parents, and I want to make sure that those kids receive the testing and treatment that they need, and to make certain that this doesn't happen again.
The state health department did not respond to an interview request for the story. Court records show no formal responses to the lawsuit yet. In New Orleans, Chris Joseph, Fox 8, Local First.
Well, state lawmakers have indicated they want to pass a law to keep this from happening again. The next session begins in the spring. Back to you.